There's something captivating about holding a piece of history in your hand, a tangible link to a moment when everyday life intersected with an era of transformation. Today, we're starting our exploration with a coin that embodies that spirit, the 1965 US quarter. This coin isn't just currency. It's an artifact that tells a story of artistry, innovation, and economic evolution that collectors have long admired. The 1965 quarter emerged at a time when America was undergoing significant change. It was part of a broader movement toward modernizing coinage that aimed to reflect the nation's evolving identity. Designed with meticulous care, this quarter was created during a period when coin collectors began to pay closer attention to minting details, and its production coincided with a cultural shift that saw coins becoming a canvas for American heritage. Collectors who appreciate history will find that the coin's era and design speak volumes about the economic optimism and technical artistry of its time. What sets the 1965 quarter apart is not just its age, but its striking design and minting precision. The coin features a crisp portrayal of the American eagle on its reverse, symbolizing strength and freedom, elements that resonated deeply with the public during a time of both political challenge and national pride. The obverse, with its well-defined portrayal of a prominent national figure, exudes an elegance that can only come from decades-old minting techniques. For many experienced collectors, the attention to detail in the lettering and the symmetry of the design are more than just aesthetic features. They're hallmarks of exceptional quality. When you examine a 1965 quarter carefully, you notice subtle differences in the die used and the background texture that hint at the artistry behind its creation. Over the years, the 1965 quarter has steadily grown in stature among rare coin aficionados, largely due to its limited production nuances and the shifting tastes of modern collectors. Auction houses have seen competitive bids for specimens in exceptionally pristine condition, with mint-state examples fetching several times the face value. Market values vary significantly, influenced by factors such as the coin's specific mint mark, its survival rate in near-perfect condition, and any minor anomalies that might have occurred during the production process. In several recent sales, high-grade 1965 quarters have set records by reaching prices that reflect not only scarcity, but also the enduring appeal of a coin that bridges generations. An intriguing aspect that enhances the coin's allure is the series of stories that have emerged from its journey into private collections. Some collectors have reported fascinating details about how these coins were saved from circulation after brief uses, only to be rediscovered decades later in unexpected places like antique drawers or vintage cash registers in family estates. These narratives add a layer of human connection to the coin's already impressive historical significance. One well-known case involves a collector who found a 1965 quarter in an old coin album at a local library sale, a discovery that later turned out to be a mint-state specimen with a remarkable history of ownership from a local bank's cash box, a find that now stands as a prime example of serendipity in the world of coin collecting. Moreover, the condition of this coin is a critical aspect that significantly impacts its value. Mint-state 1965 quarters are prized above all, with collectors noting that any wear, even minimal, can dramatically reduce a coin's market appeal. In pristine condition, these coins exhibit an almost mirror-like luster that allows the fine details of the design to gleam, earning premium prices at auctions. On the other hand, circulated examples, while still of interest to historical collectors, offer less dramatic returns due to the inevitable marks of everyday handling. The nuanced grading process means that even slight variations in surface preservation can spell the difference between a cherished collectible and a modest investment piece. This divide often leads to enthusiastic debates at coin shows and auctions, where experts meticulously examine each specimen for minute discrepancies in strike quality, surface luster, and overall eye appeal. Collecting the 1965 quarter is a journey in itself, a blend of appreciating historical narratives, understanding technical craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovering a coin that has withstood the test of time. For those who have long been immersed in the art of collecting, this coin represents both a challenge and an opportunity, a chance to secure a piece that is both beautiful in design and significant in its heritage. Its market value isn't just a number. It's a reflection of the intricate balance between rarity, condition, and the rich backstory that every coin carries with it. As we pause to reflect on the 1965 quarter, its story is a reminder that every coin in your collection holds a chapter of history that is waiting to be rediscovered. This exploration sets the stage for delving further into the unique qualities of other rare coins, each with their own distinctive narrative and allure. Moving forward from a coin that resonates with the echoes of the past, the 1988 U.S. quarter marks another chapter where modern minting meets subtle rarity. Born into an era of evolving design sensibilities and shifting economic landscapes, the 1988 quarter stands as a testament to the mint's ability to blend tradition with contemporary flair. Even though it was minted with a mass production mindset, collectors have discovered that beneath its common exterior lies a fascinating tale of innovation and occasionally elusive production details that make it unexpectedly special. The background of this coin is steeped in the rapidly changing world of the late 1980s. At a time when the United States was embracing new technological advancements and a burgeoning global economy, the coinage also began to reflect these modern influences. The 1988 quarter was produced during a phase when the mint was experimenting with fresher techniques, leading to subtle improvements in both design and composition. While it might not boast the monumental historical events of earlier eras, the coin effectively captures the optimistic pulse of the late 20th century. It was a period defined by its embrace of modernity, and collectors find that the 1988 quarter carries with it the spirit of that energy, making it a valuable piece for those who appreciate the nuanced progression of coinage. One of the defining characteristics of the 1988 quarter is its sleek and refined design. Unlike its earlier counterparts, this quarter features sharper edges and a cleaner die strike that highlights intricate details with a modern touch. On the obverse, the refined portrayal of national emblems is complemented by a balanced and harmonious layout that many collectors admire. The reverse, although retaining a classical flair, incorporates design elements that hint at the artistic renewal of the period. This combination of classic motifs with modern precision lends the coin an inherent elegance, and it's the subtle changes in the die design, variations that may differ from one mint facility to another, that make each coin a unique specimen. For experienced collectors who know how to read these minute details, the 1988 quarter becomes a puzzle of production choices and minting idiosyncrasies that hint at a story much deeper than its face value. Market dynamics for the 1988 quarter have been quite intriguing over the years. While its baseline value may start modestly, there exists a growing niche among collectors who seek out uncirculated or exceptionally preserved specimens. Auction records have reported several instances where well-preserved examples have fetched prices that surpass those of many coins from a similar era. The figures, although not astronomical in the mainstream market, are steadily climbing, particularly in circles where condition and rarity are prized above all. Auctions have occasionally witnessed bidding wars over specimens that bear unique mint marks or slight design variances. A reminder that even coins from a more recent era are susceptible to the passionate scrutiny of collectors. This shift in value is a reflection not only of the coin's inherent beauty and technical precision, but also of the evolving tastes within the numismatic community, where even modern coins can become prized collectibles when conditions align. A particularly fascinating narrative surrounding the 1988 quarter revolves around its role in commemorative events that, while not initially intended for collectors, have inadvertently contributed to its rarity. There are accounts of coins being set aside during special minting batches intended for promotional events or limited editions that slipped through standard distribution channels. Over time, these specimens, with their slight but distinctive design differences, have gained a reputation as the one that got away among local collectors. One story that circulates in coin clubs involves a batch accidentally released into circulation during a state celebration, later recognized by its unique edge details and subtle lettering adjustments, features that now command a premium from those who manage to identify such a specimen correctly. This narrative, shared among seasoned collectors, accentuates how an ordinary coin can evolve into an extraordinary collectible through a combination of historical missteps and the vigilant eye of a dedicated enthusiast. As with any piece of coinage, the condition of the 1988 quarter significantly impacts its market value. Collectors often split their preferences between coins in near-perfect mint state and those that have seen a bit of the world. A coin in mint state, with its unblemished luster and unaltered detailing, reveals every nuance of the modern minting process, a testament to the precision and quality control of the era. In contrast, circulated coins, while still rich in their historical context, tend to lack the visual impact and tactile pleasure that come from a preserved specimen. It's a balancing act, with experts recognizing that even minor surface wear or toning can detract from the coin's potential as a high-value collectible. Enthusiasts relish the challenges of grading these coins, often engaging in spirited debates on forums and at trade shows over what constitutes a truly pristine example of this modern classic. In the end, the 1988 quarter is more than a piece of minted metal. It is a snapshot of a dynamic era of change and modern artistry. For collectors who relish the hunt for subtle distinctions and appreciate the depth of historical context wrapped in a modern package, this coin presents both a challenge and a reward. Its journey from a piece of everyday currency to a collectible with nuanced stories encapsulates the transformative power of careful craftsmanship and the dedicated passion of the numismatic community. Let's turn our attention now to the 1997 US quarter, a coin that, at first glance, might not command the same mystique as its older counterparts, but upon closer inspection, reveals a surprising depth of character and collectible potential. It's a coin that quietly bridges the traditional design legacy of earlier US quarters with the transitional period just before the launch of the wildly popular 50-state quarters program. That makes the 1997 quarter something of a final chapter, a curtain call for the classic eagle reverse design before it gave way to a bold new era in American coinage. Produced at a time when most people weren't paying much attention to their pocket change, the 1997 quarter was part of a consistent, high-volume production cycle. The U.S. Mint was gearing up for something big, though most Americans didn't know it yet. Just 2 years later, the 50-state quarters would completely shift the landscape, drawing millions of new collectors into the hobby. But because 1997 was the final full year before that revolution, it's now being revisited by seasoned collectors who recognize its importance as a transitional piece. Think of it like the last page in one book before a sequel changes the storyline entirely. What truly sets the 1997 quarter apart, though, is the quality variance and some intriguing minting oddities that have caught the eye of more experienced collectors. While billions were minted, finding one in perfect condition, especially from regular circulation, is remarkably tough. And then there are the well-documented errors, off-center strikes, double dies, and clipped planchets that have turned up in recent years. These anomalies aren't common, but when they surface, they create a buzz. One example, a 1997 quarter struck on a nickel planchet, fetched a substantial premium at auction due to its rarity and the crispness of the error. These types of discoveries elevate an otherwise ubiquitous coin into a noteworthy treasure. As for market value, circulated 1997 quarters in average condition won't turn heads. But once you hit mint state territory, especially MS66 and above, the story changes. High-grade examples, particularly those certified by PCGS or NGC, can fetch anywhere from $30 to $100, and that number jumps if the coin displays full strike details or a unique error. And for collectors with an eye for ultra-high-end, top-pop coins, MS68 examples are rare and have broken the $500 mark in recent years. That's not just about scarcity. It's about quality, timing, and the shifting appreciation of late 20th century coinage. Another interesting twist? Because it came right before the design change, the 1997 quarter is sometimes included in end-of-an-era typesets, often paired with earlier Eagle reverse quarters or even compared against the 1999 Delaware issue to highlight the dramatic difference. That crossover appeal has helped fuel demand, especially among collectors who specialize in design transitions or key date runs. And since this coin hasn't yet seen the level of saturation or mass interest that others have, there's a sense among in-the-know collectors that now is the time to secure premium examples before broader market demand catches up. When it comes to condition, once again, everything hinges on preservation. A 1997 quarter that's been in someone's change jar for 20 years is going to show its age, surface wear, contact marks, and loss of luster. But a coin that's been kept in a mint set or stored away untouched can look nearly flawless, with radiant surfaces and sharp, undisturbed details. Collectors seeking the best of the best obsess over things like die state, planchet quality, and even eye appeal. Yes, that's an actual grading factor. A coin might technically be a high mint state, but if it's dull or lacks vibrancy, it's not going to draw the same attention as a specimen that pops visually. That's part of what makes cherry picking such a thrill in this niche. You're not just chasing a grade, you're chasing personality in metal form. So while the 1997 quarter might seem like the quiet sibling in this trio, it holds its own with a story of transition, subtle rarity, and mounting interest. For collectors in the know, especially those who've been watching the market trends over the past few years, it's become clear that coins like this, the sleepers, are often the ones with the biggest upside in the long run. It's not just about what a coin is today, it's about what it represents and where it sits in the broader story of American numismatics. Taken together, these three quarters, 1965, 1988, and 1997, paint a vivid picture of how seemingly ordinary coins can become unexpectedly extraordinary. Each holds a unique place in history, marked by design, production quirks, and the ever-changing tastes of collectors. Whether tucked away in an old coin folder or showcased in a high-end display case, these quarters remind us that value isn't always obvious at first glance, but it's always waiting to be discovered by those who know where to look.